So guys, today I'm going to teach you how to play Swarmhost Nydus against Terran and Protoss, and it's a little bit of a more mechanical playstyle because you need to do a lot of Nydusing, still spend your money, use your queens a lot, spread creep, defend at home while you do your Nydus work. But the nice thing is that because we're going to work with a lot of Nydus worms, we can use the Swarmhost on our side of the map, transport them to the other side of the map, Locust, back home, Swarmhost are home, Locust again to defend, no problem. Right, the build works almost identically against both Terran and Protoss, and that is what we're going to have a look at. For openers against Terran, pool first, hatch, gas, all the standard stuff, nothing special. Doesn't matter whether you want to go hatch first or pool first. I like pool first so I can send the two links across the map. As you probably know if you watch some of my videos or my stream, because I always go pool first, defend the Reaper with the Queen, send the links across the map, do a little bit of harassment. This part is not really important, it's just a nice thing to have. What I want to do here is scout what my opponent is doing. I see a barracks in the factory, meaning not a 16 marine drop. Against a 16 marine drop I can't really play this build because marines are too good against locusts. But other than that, it's pretty much viable against everything. Important, first 100 gas link speed, keep mining gas, second 100 gas layer, around 3 minutes 30 when your mineral line at the natural should be saturated. Take the double gas, then take the third gas as soon as you can. Keep a couple links at home. You want to be careful not to be dropped by Hellions or, well, in his case, Marine Cyclone. And then once your layer is done, you throw down the infestation pit. One thing that I'm not quite sure about yet is when to actually start attacking. The infestation pit takes quite a long time to build, and you also want to build the Nydus network so you can then Nydus. A little bit more on the preparation that I made so far. I put one Overlord here, so I can put down a Nydus Worm here, attack the third base, attack his natural. Another Overlord here, attack this potential third base, attack his main, and I can Nydus in both steps. It's very important that you have the Overlords there. If he decides to kill your Overlords, make an Overseer, get Overlord speed, move links across the map, do something. You can also Nydus Worm here, Locust up here, Nydus Worm there. All are possibilities, but you just need some way to have multiple Nydus worms going down. He's attacking me. I'm gonna defend this mostly with queens, I believe. Here we go. Nothing much going on. Around the 5-minute mark, a little bit before that, like 4:45 or so, I threw down the Nydus network. I'm going to be harassed very heavily right now, which is kind of the hard part of this build, because you need to deal with a lot of harassment against very good Terran players. Like here you see he's attacking me with the Hellions. At the same time I'm attacked in the main base by the Liberator. I'm struggling quite a bit to keep everything clean here, but I eventually managed to clean everything up. Units lost, 7 workers, that's okay. Could be worse. Now the first Nydus Worm is going down. I'm Nydusing straight into his main base. At the same time defending over here with the queens, shut down the Medivacs. The Swarmhosts are coming out, and as soon as the Swarmhosts come out, throw down the Locusts and send the Swarmhosts back into the Nydus Worm. I'm not able to get all the Swarmhosts into the Nydus Worm here, so I'm throwing down a second Nydus Worm immediately so I can get them out. He doesn't want to fight against my units. If he's going for Banshees, I also need to prepare an Overseer. I'm not doing that at the moment, but you'll see it in the next replay. Over here I'm killing the Hellbats eventually. Actually I shut down his Cloak, which is really nice as well. Then I'm now also sending the Queens out, transfusing the Nydus Worm a little bit. I'm gonna plop down the next Nydus network soon. Yeah, here comes the Overseer. It's okay. It's important that you put some queens, and spreading creep is also really nice if you can get that done. The Swarmhosts are currently on cooldown, and while this is going on, I'm trying to spend my money at home. I need the third base just to spend all my larvae. Is this Cass? I don't know. It could be Cass. But spending my larva, and I'm building the spire. The spire is a really nice thing to build because usually you don't want to go for force against Swarmhost, and even if you go for force, the Swarmhost kind of kill the force super quickly. So they're not really the unit of choice usually. This game I'm not actually in need of that many Nydus Swarms, I'm more or less just pushing him over here and pressuring, trying to kill him. I don't need to build that many additional Swarmhosts either. I can if I want to, but right now I feel pretty confident with the amount of Swarmhosts I do have. If things go badly, I just send them back into the Nydus form. Queens are a little bit late to the party. I Nydus over here now and I'll start attacking that base. I have creep spread over here, so unless he scans he cannot actually stop me from Nydusing, but he does scan, so he shuts the Nydus down. Spire is almost done. The macro behind this is really difficult, for me at least, because you need to inject, then do the Nydus network management and all that at once. Here you see the next thing. I'm immediately Nydusing over here, so I'm gonna plop down some locusts and I can move my units over here. If I Nydus over here, it also means he has to keep his army over here, so you cannot come and clean up this Nydus. Like, there's a lot of things you can do. Because he has to keep his army over here, I can locust and then he will fight me there. At the same time I'm Nydusing in his main base in an area where he does not have vision. Like, he cannot actually see this Nydus, now he can because he went there with units. Then I'm moving changelings around to get more places to put Nydus Worms down. I need to mine more gas so I can actually make a worthwhile Mutalisk switch. I got links over here to shut down that base in case he would try to land it. Then I just moved the Swarmhosts back in after they did a little bit of damage. I'm droning up as well. Just keep on working on things. I'm going to speed things up a little bit right now because there's not that much going on. I'm more or less just doing the same thing over and over again where I try to land Nydus Worms. Here we go with the next one. Nydus. Doing damage to him. Killing buildings, killing units. I Nydus over here so I can send the locust from down here into his main base. I need to Nydus his main if I really want to use the queens, but if I don't want to use the queens I don't really need to Nydus his main. As you can see, I built additional Swarmhosts, so now I can go and use them. Just to try and kill things. Here you see how quickly a CC dies. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Orbital is down. Nydus over here. More locusts. Then, as I said, they're also really good defensively. So now I just move all the Swarmhosts home. As well, I'm gonna move them into the Nydus network and then out of the Nydus network. Then I can use the locusts for defense over here. I'm gonna defend in two waves, so here comes the first wave and then I'm popping out the next wave of Swarmhosts. So once most of his helmets are gone, the Swarmhosts will clean up the rest and that should be it, because he is pretty much dead. And that's how you win with Swarmhosts. Now this was one game to showcase this style. I'm gonna show you two modern games. One more against another Terran, up now, and then another one against the Protoss in a little bit. So let me check. Oh, it's laggy. Here we go. It works on most maps as well. So far I haven't really encountered a map where you cannot play this style. It's just kind of taxing to play. I've only played with Swarmhost once and it was 8s. Yeah, I think that's how most people feel when they play against this. So, I'm gonna go for the same opener, I think. I'm gonna speed things up a little bit because it's not that important that we see all the steps. It's just pool, hatch, gas, drone, drone, 2 links, drone, queen. Send links across the map. Links try to do damage, links kill a worker, links scout factory, links are happy. Railgan has queens at home, Railgan spreads a little bit of creep, Railgan gets a fast flare, 2 additional gas and the 4th gas at 4 minutes. Railgan builds an infestation pit, gets an overseer in case of banshees. Railgan is on his way to win this game. Overlords in position again, I have it here on the high ground. Over here there's a little bit of harassment going on, some clutch defending against the Hellbats. Nothing that important. And then here comes the Nydus. So first Nydus Swarm, complete failure. Second Nydus Swarm goes down immediately. Small trick, you can queue up Nydus Swarms, so while this Nydus Swarm is building, I can already tell him build the next one over here, so you can do like, you can queue them up. Yes, I will link you the replays, not a Zerg main after I'm done here. So now is where things start to get interesting. Up until now, it has been more or less the same thing as we did last game. So I want to show you a little bit of a deviation. Once again, I'm building more and more Swarmhosts right now. Got my third base up. Here you see the next Nydus. I'm attacking him over here with queens, trying to make some space between me and the Hellbats. I'm building a Spire this game. I also built a Spire last game, I just didn't really use it. This time around I actually planned to use it. So Nydus goes down, Swarmhosts go in, queens go in, queens come out, Swarmhosts come out. More Swarmhosts come out. Couple locusts. I don't have an overseer here, so I need to morph it now, because else the benches would kill my queens. So what I'm gonna do is move the queens into the Nydus swarm until everything is ready. Waiting for the locust wave here. Plop. Move the Swarmhosts into the Nydus swarm. Another Nydus swarm over here, so I can attack this base. I'm droning at home. Now I'm building a lot of links, so I can attack the third base with links while I'm attacking him over here. Here comes the next attack. More locusts. Links over here. He's struggling quite a bit, so here I'm trying to bait his banshees a little bit. So I'm moving the queens backwards, and then I move forward once the overseers are here. Now our mutalisks are on the way, because as you can see I keep doing a lot of damage to him. His third base will have to be lifted, or it will die, I don't know which. Yes, I'm gonna post this on YouTube here. That's why I'm recording it right now. But might as well record it live for you guys. So here's another thing. You can also do Ling run bys, right? Then I just pop down a Nydus over here. He cleaned up this Nydus. I still have this Nydus here, so I could pop the locusts out and attack him there. Instead I'm just gonna pop out in his main base. Right now we're still pretty much even in supply. Units lost wise, he lost a lot more than I did though, because I keep losing locusts while he keeps losing actual units. And now my mutalisks are here as well. He has 0 anti-air units, he's not even building anything that can shoot up right now. And I got 8 mutalisks on the way here and 3 more coming soon. Just Nydus swarms going down everywhere, and that's how we win another game. So in short, this time around I used the position over here to really keep hammering the locusts down. I spread creep a lot because the creep allows me to move the queens around and to move the swarmers around, and I can also fight him easier on creep with the locusts. Then we used links to shut down the third base. I did not get any upgrades. Upgrades are something I'm still working on with this build. I don't quite know how to incorporate them because the money is pretty tight in the early game. It then eventually starts skyrocketing because it's really hard for me to spend my money. Especially if I don't have a macro hatchery or something like that. It's also stupid to go for a macro hatchery. I feel. But yeah. This replay. It's a game I played against Kung Fu Panda. ZvP. So I said the build works against turn and Protoss. That's pretty much true. For those of you who have been watching me for a long time, is Swarmhost the most cost-effective unit? Zerg unit? Probably Broodlord would be, but yeah. Kinda depends on the game adapt. But yeah, as I was saying, for those of you who have been watching me for a long time, you might remember the 2-base Swarmhost opener that I played against Protoss. This is pretty much the same thing, but I'm actually going to go a little bit further and also at the Nydus. The old 2-base Swarmhost was pretty much either Swarmhost against ground Protoss or Infestors against Skytoss. It was mostly designed to work on smaller maps. This one works in all kinds of maps, and it's best against Skytoss, I feel. But you're going to see. You will also see a couple of adjustments I make when I play against Protoss. You'll also see a couple of mistakes that I make. But the build order is basically the same. I'm going to speed things up a little bit so we don't have to suffer through all this. So it's a lair. It's link speed, lair, 2 gas, keep some links at home against setups, try to scout. My opponent's going for a Stargate. I did not scout the Stargate, which is really nice for this replay because it shows you how I react to that. Ideally I would have 2 queens in each mineral line. I messed things up a little bit and forgot to build 1 queen. So he's able to do a little bit of damage to me here. I just pull my queens together to try and block things. I pull the drones away towards my queens and then he cannot do that much damage, but I still lose a decent amount of mining time. Killed a total of 5 workers, which is okay. I mean, I don't know, it's a Protoss unit. If a Protoss unit is in your base and you don't lose 10 workers, something is okay. So, what's the plan? 2 spores now, 1 in each mineral line. Infestation pit is done, Nydus network will go down shortly. I built the Roach Warren more or less for safety. It's not really important to the build, but I figured I might use Roaches in case he goes for a mass adept style. He built these adepts, but he's not using them aggressively at all, which kind of surprised me. I'm now going for the Nydus network, and I'm starting to build Swarmhosts. One big difference is that I'm building 1 Infestor. You might say, well, it's 1 Infestor, how important can 1 Infestor be? You're going to see that 1 Infestor against the Skytoss build is actually the game changer. Building 2 or 3 Infestors might be even better, but I didn't really want to commit too heavily. Here's what I did. I snuck a link down here. Now I'm Nydusing him here. Why exactly here? It's the one spot where he does not have vision. Like, he has vision up until here. Exactly the square where my Nydus worm is going down. So he doesn't quite know what I'm doing yet. And then my units pop out. As I said, build order has been pretty much the same as the game before up until now. Against Protoss, the nice thing is that you can actually just snipe the Nexus. Because Protoss can't really do anything. Like, Terran can lift their buildings. Protoss can just watch as their Nexus crumbles. So I drop down these infested Terrans right now, and the infested Terrans kill Phoenix super quickly. So he has to retreat from here. Now he also took another base, so I'm going to retreat with my units soon. Dropping down another infested Terran. Some locusts are being sent this way. And you're going to see that the respawns is pretty much the same as I made versus Terran as well. I'm throwing down the Spire. Took my 3rd base. I'm not really droning up the 3rd base right now. Another Nydus Worm over here. It's pretty much the same thing that we did in the other game, right? Just Nydus Worms everywhere. Some Swarmers are actually walking across the map. And here we're going to see it again. There we go. I'm sniping his Nexus once more, so he lost his main base and now he's going to lose his 3rd base as well. He actually tries to keep it alive, but it like very barely dies, which is really nice for me. He will shut down this Nydus Worm over here, so I'll have to figure out more places to put down the Nydus Worms. Droned up this base a little bit, but the things are gonna clean it out, I think. I'm also building a couple roaches right now, just to have like something in case I'm running out of Swarmhosts. Swarmhosts are really nice, but if you run completely out of Locust, the game can go badly pretty quickly. So I'm running around the map with links right now to find places where I can pop plop down the Nydus worms. At home I'm building Corruptors. Why Corruptors? Corruptors are really good against Phoenix. Okay, Corruptors are okay against Phoenix. Really good is kind of a little bit too much. Corruptors can be built against Phoenix. Once again, sniping the Nexus in the main base. Not exactly, but I tried. Over here you see me fighting against his Phoenix. The Corruptors are also able to kill his Colossi, and his army is basically Colossus Phoenix with a little bit of trash underneath. He didn't kill off this Nydus yet, so I'm just Nydusing him over here. I know he has this space, so I'm gonna plop down the Locust. And we're also going to see some other nice things that you can do with Corruptors soon. So I kill the space, right? Machine gun Locust, kill everything. For example, I can fly in here, plop down a Nydus. Then I can pee on the Robo to kill it. Over here is trying to harass me. Then now I have a Nydus worm in his main base. I still have links over here to plop down a Nydus there. Tuck tuck. Kill the gateway, kill the Nexus, leave. Nydus over here. And you see how this game, how this build works, right? You just try to keep attacking him everywhere and do damage to him, more or less for free. Actually I lost more than he did, but I shut down his mining by quite a bit this game, so it has been a little bit different, where I didn't constantly trade against his army, but actually just kill bases. We're gonna see another one. Trying to snipe his Colossi, I cannot quite get it done. Another base falls. More probes fall. Trying to snipe his Colossi. If I can snipe the Colossi, then my units are going to be a lot better. Another Colossus falls. I'm building some Infestors at home right now as well. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm doing it. And I think this is actually going to be the final fight. So now he has pretty much no economy. I mean, I could pee on this base and just kill it if I would want to. And he has to fight against my Locust. And without ever taking a real army fight, we killed everything our opponent had over and over. His Phoenix couldn't keep up with my Corruptors. His ground unit is no chance against the Locust. And we just attacked him here, there, everywhere until he eventually had to GG out. So that's pretty much how this build works. Just keep trying to find places to attack him. Use all the units you have at your disposal. Use your superior economy, because you can also drone at home. You can also switch away from this. And Adapt, you said, would it be a good idea to make the Nydus worm at, say, his 4th base and send a queen through to spread creep? That way you wouldn't know where his actual worm was. Yeah, you can do stuff like that. I mean, you saw me do that against Terran a lot, where I spread creep. Against this Protoss I didn't really do that much, but against the Terran I did that a lot. This guy more or less just died, because, well, I mean, he didn't really have anything to keep him alive. Like, the Locust Wave kept getting bigger and bigger. And eventually he died. I killed 5 Nexi. He lost his base 5 times. I lost 6 Nydus worms. I lost 13 Corruptors, that's a lot. Yeah, the Phoenix, his Phoenix were upgraded, so that's why my units didn't do that well. But yeah. It also doesn't require that much APM. I have an average APM of 190. I had 190 APM and I kept attacking him at multiple bases, attacking him with my Corruptors and everything. You don't need a lot of APM to do all this stuff. You just need to be efficient. See? The Protoss had 300 APM and didn't once have his army in position to deal with any of my attacks. I had 190 APM and I shut down everything he had. APM isn't that important, guys. But yeah. I'm gonna post a guide on spawning tool on Monday. Tomorrow. On this build. And I hope you will enjoy it.